$5 Games presents Death Road to Canada. Ah, Canada, the home of the maple leaf and the only place sane enough not to be taken over by a zombie apocalypse. This game is Oregon Trail, but instead of shooting buffalo, you fend off zombies while scavenging for supplies. In other words, this game uses dynamic storytelling where events happen and hopefully your group is prepared for them and you make the right decisions to get them out. But let's face it, considering that they didn't move to Canada while the zombie apocalypse was happening, probably shows that they aren't prepared in the slightest. The group starts off in Florida, or at least mine did. The goal is to not become a zombie and not die. And Canada is the obsession that has entered the characters' brains. You can have 4 characters in a group, and you can control a single character at a time. The AI control the rest unless you're playing multiplayer. However, having more people isn't necessarily the best thing. The more people you have, the more mouths you need to feed, which means that you'll need to stop more frequently to find food and other supplies. Initially, you don't know the stats of the characters that join your party. You have to wait until something influences them, or that they get revealed, like by punching an engine with their bare hands, breaking every bone in the process, thus revealing they know nothing about cars. It's quite possible that nobody knows how to use a med kit, meaning that collecting medicine is kind of a pointless endeavor unless you have an event that can increase a character's medical knowledge. And even when you collect medicine, your character will only use the medkits when they feel like it, which could be in 2 minutes or 5 days from now. Although the more people you have, the more food you use, the amount of food used each day changes wildly depending on events. The only time you can choose to use food is at the shop for guns. Because you know, if you're willing to trade your most valuable commodity for something worse, any shopkeeper will take you up on that. My most valuable party member was a Valkyrie who joined the party because I was killing a lot of zombies and told me not to worry about it. She wields Mjolnir and was killing zombies left and right and would drop it at the first sign of seeing a gun? I didn't know what was wrong with her. I can't pick up Mjolnir. It's freaking Mjolnir. We don't need that handgun. Well, into the fire you go. All of my human players died, and I got a special event about how no one could drive the car anymore, except the dog. The word Canada entered his brain, and he grew a thumb to turn on the engine and started driving. Not that he got far. I only had time for 1 run, so I do not know how many different events there are, but I imagine there's plenty. As for the gameplay of wading through zombies and collecting supplies, I originally thought, how could this be challenging? And later I went, oh. There's nothing to indicate what weapon is better than what. There's also nothing to tell you what character abilities do. So you can either go at it by immersing yourself in the story or going on the wiki that's probably out there. Enemies don't immediately hit you, they actually slow you down. Then if you're in contact with them long enough, then they damage you. Each character has 3 health states which can be recovered through medicine supplies, or I think resting does as well, but I'm unsure. There's also an invisible stamina meter, which when exhausted creates larger intervals between attacks, giving the zombies ample opportunity to reach you. I think it also might cause you to do less damage, but like all things in this game, it doesn't tell you anything. So I really am going off a lot of guesses here. So overall, the gameplay is very simple, except for turning on the car. There are times when an event forces you to survive against a horde of zombies for a set amount of time, and that seems to be the main event for killing off a run. My poor, poor dog. Subscribe, I do 5 of these each week. Like and comment if you want. That's a wrap for this game. Consider picking this game up instead of a trip to Canada, or simply a road trip anywhere if you're in Canada.